All right. When did the abuse started to happen?
Between me and Dwight?
Yeah.
Oh, that was like, remember around the show?
So that was older. That had previously happened to you, all the while knowing this is damage that has been done, but you still go back.
But again, we're talking about before 2009.
Yeah, but it don't matter when it happened, though, Royce.
I know, but again, somebody just died.
Yes.
And this person is calling you devastated.
No, I'm not.
And like losing it and claiming like he's just this changed person and what his plans are and therapy and begging for forgiveness. Like, it's been how long? And again, you've been punched. You got to remember, like, I'm being punched. It can't get any worse. Like, shit, I'm
punched.
Let's just go.
Punched, not literally punched, with like just the emotional tactics.
Yeah.
That's happening,
Yeah.
and you're falling for them. Like,
Well, no, that one, yeah, because I wanted all the other shit to stop. But the physical abuse between us, like, I was one of them people who said that I would never go back. And I did twice. And when people ask, like, oh, at this point it's your fault. When you have been so mind-fucked to thinking that you're worthless, that nobody will want you, that you ruined baby Superman, baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You start to believe that stuff. So any little inkling of like joy, you take it. But when he did it the first time, I was shocked. Like, I had a knife, pulled on me before he had ever done it. I was, at knife point. So when I even talk about that story, and I'm like, the people who were there, y'all know this happened because of my reaction. And it was my reaction because that's how I was raped. And I made sure I said that. So for them to minimize it and again act like my pain is unreal or like shit didn't happen, that bothers me because I did try to forgive and not do this. And again, when you're a woman who's made to feel so less than, I mean, just a moment of joy, you take it. So when he flung me into the entertainment center and then accidentally, like, I always say I don't think he did it on purpose, but flung Braylon, like, there's pictures of the entertainment center when I first moved into the house and when the doors were broken. The timeline sets up. His family sits here and comes on the internet and act like I'm lying. I asked him, the midget-ass friend, he was at the fucking house. He told him, hey, man, stop, that's a female. And then he gets up and picks up your little boy who's now crying and just walks out, and your goddaughter sitting on the couch, don't know what to do. And you got to have a conversation with her now? All because I didn't have a bag pack or some Skittles. But all the apologies, I had a bad game. I had never done that before. You know I've never acted like that before. That is not in my character. That's not me. So I believed it. Even though, I'd broken up with him or whatever, got back together. When he came to pick up Braylon that day, and I walk in the bathroom, And I come back and you're standing in my room. I already knew some shit was finna happen. But at that house, it was my bathroom door, and I could exit this way because then my room went like that. But when I walk here and I see him right there, I see my little boy in the family room playing with his Chuggington toys. And he asks, you want to do something? No. I say, my period's on. I'll take some head. No. This is a person that is 6'11", and I was tiny back then. I'm thick now. But, sorry, again, I said this before. Laughing, I've learned, is a coping, so I'm okay. But I just keep seeing him playing with his Chuggington toys, and I just keep thinking about this man that is just asking me for something that I don't want to do. But I also remember what he did before. And I'm trying to just tell him, like, you know, when you bring him back. I did say that. I said, when you bring him back.
Who is him?
Braylon, because he was coming to pick Braylon up. So I'm like, when you bring him back. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't good enough. So he then comes and he closes the door and he walks me over to the bed, and I step backwards because now I'm by my chest because I don't feel like doing this. And I'm not like, oh, like this. I'm just walking back like I just said no. And he's like, man, come on, you know what I'm talking about? Come on, you can do something. And I'm like, no. And he's pushing you down on your head. And at first you think he's playing, and you like, well, not, you know he's not playing, but you try and push him off of you and be like, man, stop, so you can just walk away. And he don't let you stop. You push him and he pulls you, and you try and push him again, and he throws you on the ground. And now you're like in front of your dresser and you're crying. And now, because you're crying, you can't actually give head now because you're crying. You're too emotional. So you just slam your waist into my face? That's what you do? Over and over and over again? For what? Because you that pissed off that I can't give you head for real? And then you just walk out, pick our son up, leave the house. But I'm lying. I'm lying, y'all.
First off, I apologize for evoking that emotion again. And even with that, I think it's important that these type of situations and actions are serious. No matter how small somebody may act or say it is, or how big it is, this is a real deal action. So I apologize.
That's why they had me sign that injunction.
Yeah. It's so much that I don't want to. Thank you, because I don't want to forget. And you said something about being silenced. You said something about really the giant, like ant versus an elephant. Mm-hmm. And you can't be mad at me. You cannot be mad at me if this really happened. Mm-hmm. This is just a way to.
They know it happened though.
But it's bigger than. This is a big deal, but it's bigger than that. It gives a voice to the people who have went through this and gives them the hope to say, it's not right, and I need to speak on it. I don't give a fuck who you are.
But is it crazy to say, well, he never treated me like that? Because with Tiffany, she never saw that side of him, ever. She got the calm. She was like, he would talk to me like this and always try and, make sense of everything, and he never really raised his voice.
And who's Tiffany?
She's number 2.
Okay.
And she was always told not to talk to me. They were all told not to talk to me. They were all told that I was the crazy one. And that's how the media put it out there. Like, I had a career. I had job offers. I was supposed to go to Vegas. I was gonna work at Treasure Island. They had offered a contract to me 3 times, and he forced me to stay in Florida. And then he let them go with the narrative that I was like this whore. And then all the times that I was getting sued in the news, how I was put out there. And it was like, I'm crazy. And, I know people always talk about, you always stood up for yourself on Basketball Wives. I try to stand up for myself all the time. But then it always comes across until now like I was bitter. Like I was a gold digger. It just, in my own hometown, treated me like shit. I couldn't get a job at Disney. They told me conflict of interest. But they let them go. They let him run with it. Then I found out he was part of it. A lot of these blogs, they're on payroll. Look at what they post about me. There's never anything positive. Like even now, with everything that I posted, have they posted it? No, but they'll post somebody else's trauma. Still trying to silence me. I got a motion for contempt. I don't give a fuck about your contempt because I'm in contempt of nothing. And he sent the same thing to Tiffany and she ain't even said shit yet. What you scared of? Your truth coming out? Then bring your ass outside. You have tried to destroy us. You have taken everything away from me. So I don't have shit else to lose. But you definitely not taking my child. You not finna change his impression of me.
Is there a message that you would like to kind of say to individuals that are going through what you've been through?
Speak your peace. And listen to those words. Speak your peace. Whatever you need to say to find peace, speak it. Because again, I got nothing from this. I'm not getting paid. But I feel free. Like I can breathe. I can smile for real. And even though there's still a shitload of people that hate me for whatever reason and blame me for everything that has happened, that's okay. Because at least I have a bunch of ants crawling up that leg of that elephant. We eating away at it, but it's not just me anymore. It's freeing.
How has your son coped with just almost like the ruin of what could have been.
He hurts. He hurts. 'Cause he's like, why me? You know? And, you know, I used to tell him a story about like a guinea pig. And you know, they say the first kid is the one you grow up with, and then the second one you raise. I was like, you know, he made some mistakes, but I never lied to him, though. But as he's gotten older and he's seen these things for himself, he hurts because he feels like he minimizes him because he knows who he really is. And Braylon's never included in anything because Braylon tries to have conversations with him as a man, not on a video game. Mm-hmm. And it always turns into, you want to get on GTA? No, I want to have a conversation with my dad. Like, I want you to help me, like, with basketball. You know what I mean? Like, he came to, you know, his football game this year. But when he showed up at one last year, Braylon wasn't even playing. And he was so devastated because that's when all the rumors at first started coming out.
About what?
About Dwight and his tendencies.
I don't know what you're saying.
About Kitty.
Okay.
Yeah. And, well, actually, I think it was just the accusation at this point. And when he called and he was saying he wanted to come and see Braylon, when I was shocked, but hey, you in town? If you want to see him after all these months, sure.
Right.
And Braylon was like, well, can he stay up there? Meaning like not come into the game. He was like, I just come to him, right? And so Braylon is, you know, he calls me back and he's like, I'm here. And I said, okay. And we're walking up the thing and he's standing right at the top of like the hill, almost like, everybody, I'm here. And Braylon is like, then he starts walking down into the game. It turned it like the police thought it was a fight. They start yelling at me. You're supposed to let us know if he's here. I didn't know the fuck he was coming. This is a last minute thing. He just told me like 10 minutes ago. But then they walk him on to, you know, across the field and, you know, he sits on a little thing that they sit on for the pole vaulting thing. And he on the phone the whole time. So he done made a whole scene because he still wanted that ego feeling. It wasn't about Braylon because he told you he just wanted to see you and he didn't want all these people around.
But you do understand that nothing about his father is normal.
I understand that, but if your son is telling you he's not comfortable with you coming all the way down like that.
Oh, he just wanted him to stay.
Yeah, he wanted to just come to him because clearly Braylon's not playing.
I see.
He's just at the game as a participant. Yeah. Like, not a participant, like as a fan.
Yeah. I see.
So there's no reason for you to come in.
I understand what you're saying, but now that's where I can kind of empathize knowing that he ain't no regular dude. So
your son is asking you to just stay up there because you're coming to see him.
Yes.
So why not just stay up there and be like, hey, Mom, you know, or say, hey, I'm going to take him to Andretti's or I want to do this or ask me something.
Yeah. But I'm not trying to sound like I'm not agreeing with the circumstance here. I'm saying not even knowing the real story in Atlanta or anywhere, being that size, being who he is, standing in a crowd. Nobody
saw him at the top. The way they go into their games, you have to walk through the gymnasium first and then come out another door and then walk. Yeah. So, like, once you walk out the gymnasium and around the thing and then you walk, there's this hill.
Okay.
He didn't have to do all that. He didn't have to come in. Why'd you pay to come in the game when he asked you to wait outside? Because you were coming to see him. He wanted to spend time with his dad.
Now I see.
Yeah.
You spoke about something through this transition, and mentioning that the transition that he was in, and there was still a lot of speculations about who and what the fuck was that, and the kitty. Is that a man or a female?
It's a man.
Have you ever seen Kitty?
The picture.
But you've never met
No.
the person? Okay. And even going through what you've been through, this is not even about this particular situation. Are you dating right now?
I'm dating.
Do you want more kids?
I would not be opposed to it. I've always wanted more kids, but I just wanted it. I wanted it done the right way.
And what's the right way?
Like through a real secure, compatible, and I mean like a partnership. You know what I'm saying? Like I want a partner. I don't want a sponsor.
Do you have a type?
I don't think so.
We all have preferences.
I don't think so. I did say that I was going to elevate myself this year. And I say that because I've always been that person that's like, you know, I'll date anybody as long as they have a nice personality and I'm physically attracted to them. No. I can't do that.
So what can you do?
We both got, I mean, if not, well, my husband has to make more money than me.
When people hear that, they're going to be like,
I know.
okay.
But I just know how it feels and how emasculating it can be to a man when his wife makes more. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but in most cases, I've seen that man's masculinity almost diminish because he feels like he's not taking care of home.
Cool. Last question on this. Did you ever feel uncomfortable with your son being alone with his dad?
Yeah, especially when he was younger.
And did you do anything?
Yeah, that was when the nanny was molesting him.
What?
Yeah. Yep. It's in the court papers and everything. I got messages. I posted receipts. Yep, and I even posted a video of my son even talking about her and how he didn't like her. He's a little baby. Yep, but even in the email, you know, he liked her. He trusted her. And I had been complaining about her for like years. And then the judge told me if I ever made a claim like that again, that he would absolutely give Dwight 100% custody and that I need to shut my mouth, that I was a gold digger. It's all in the docket. Yeah. And that's when I cussed out his attorney and I walked out thinking I was going to be held in contempt, and I thought that was going to be my first mugshot, but hey. Didn't know it was going to be 2 on the bucket list. Wow. These 2020s are something
That
else.
motherfucking 2020s got motherfuckers seeing real clear of who the fuck you really
Yeah.
are. You thought, but then thunk and think. How
But
we
to
doing?
answer even a little bit more about how Braylon feels.
Okay.
Because he's older and he can read and he can see and he can listen. And I said it before, listening to understand, not to defend. He realizes who his dad is. And he knows like what to expect of him. So he's realistic.
And just so we're clear, this is his first child. And your first. Now, is there a way that we find a resolve to this situation?
Braylon wants nothing to do with him anymore.
Yeah, but just
And I've wiped my hands of it because, I mean, not even because I've been scrutinized about why would you keep trying to force a thing. I'm exhausted, especially now by what he's doing. Like, you still trying to silence me when all I said was leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't just do that. We signed a whole agreement to get you to stop paying child support. But I also had 3 other contracts at that time, so I felt like, you know what? If this can make him completely disappear, then fine. But again, I had 3 contracts. But it was $100,000 that was supposed to be from September of 2023 all the way through May of 2026 when he graduates.
For who?
That was supposed to be like for our son.
Like a fund?
No, that was like it's going to be the rest of his child support payments. Like, that was it.
Oh.
And no, I didn't agree with it. I thought it was bullshit. Because yes, he was giving 13. He said that. But that whole lump sum he talking about in the beginning, talking about, I've been paying child support since the beginning. No, you weren't, sir. If you were doing that, we wouldn't have had to go to court. That lump sum was back child support. And what did I do? I bought a house. What are you talking about, a studio? I bought a house and I rented a little small old Chinese food restaurant to make a dance studio. That's what I did. Because guess what? It's back child support. Who was supporting the child that entire time?
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, when people talk about, oh, this lump sum, this is what she did with it. What do you mean? I'm getting my money back. Like, we're supposed to be half and half on this.
Yeah.
I've been 100 for this entire time. So yeah, run that money back so we could keep it moving.